it's really important to recognize
Uh-huh.
when we fail and also to take that failure, because when you fail you learn automatically. My inner self is creative, so if there is no a creative expression, I think that all of us will be super sad. Also, I gotta say that it's so important sometimes to get like a, I don't know, like a coach, or like a mentor, someone that could guide you.
Hi everyone, I'm Camilo Torres, and welcome again to Flow Community Podcast. In here, we're going to have amazing conversation with the beautiful people that has joined our community. We're going to get a lot of inspirations for their life journeys, passions, creations, because we believe that when you share your unique story, you can inspire others. So please enjoy this new episode. And also, I would love to invite you to join our community. And if you would like to be part of this podcast, please go to our website, flowwithcommunity.com. Thank you. So please welcome Logan Infinito. Hi, Logan.
Hi, how are you doing today?
Good, thank you. Thank you so much for, well, being part of this podcast and being part of the community. And yeah, and it's my pleasure to have you here.
You're so welcome. I've been looking at the job you are doing and how it's growing the community, and I think that I said I want to be there. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much. And yeah, and also I've been following your, well, all your work. I've been reading as well the Manifesto Longanista, which is really interesting. Like you talk about 5 tools of creativity and you talk about some of your journey. But anyway, I would love you to explain more about that.
Yeah, so basically, the book came at the moment where I just moved to Denmark, was like 4 years ago, and it was crazy because like I started to think, okay, actually, this journey of being a musician took me to learn a lot of stuff, like video editing, scripting, event production, and how to promote a gig, how to get like brands to advertise, to get some money to rent equipment, So I started to think about that, and I said, okay, let's write a book. And how could it be called? So then I said, okay, Manifiesto Loganista, like my manifesto, were my tools that I always use in order to create a video script or whatever. So there are like 5 tools that also helps me to be creative all the time and keep flowing with the workflow.
Nice, nice, and very interesting. I read some of that and really like it. And anyway, I need to continue reading. So yeah. So but then where is that out there, or is it published, or how?
Yeah, I mean, actually, it's an ebook
Oh,
that, yeah, I got the link to download it. It's free. And in the other hand, it's just in Spanish. Like when we did the design with a really dope designer from Argentina, it was just in Spanish, and I was not thinking about the possibility of making it on English because also my English was not that good at the moment. But yeah, it's also like offer and demand. If I see that there is a demand of the people from the English audience to have it on English, then just everyone that is looking at this podcast, just let me know in the comments and we will translate it.
that's perfect. Thank you. Thank you. And right, so talking about like you had a lot of hats and know a lot of like producing everything that you have done. How has
Yeah.
been that journey for you? Has been your entrepreneurial journey?
I mean, it's been good. It's been good because you get to learn a lot when you are like a do-it-yourself independent artist. You learn how to do everything, but that doesn't mean that you have to do everything.
Uh,
So delegate is so important. I just remember an event that I made on Quilmes, that is a place on Argentina, a different city, and I was doing everything. It was like so stressful. Like I was like receiving the guest, the artist, hosting the event, then engineering the mixer for the sound, and then presenting like the people, and yeah, getting the lineup was like so stressful. And then I realized, okay, it's important to delegate, you know. Also with the sound, you know, like in the music you can see, for example, in the top artists, like let's say Travis Scott or Beyonce, like people that is on the top, like they in the album credits they have one song and it's four songwriters. And that's not because like in hip hop culture you would say, ah, no, they don't write their songs, that's lame, you know. But that's how the industry works. We have to help each other, and you cannot be doing everything, you know. So I think that it's nice to learn how to do things and then decide, say, okay, I really love to do this, or if not, then just get someone else to do it.
100%. I think you said something very special, and it's when you create something, collaborate, like doing the collaboration between a lot of people, a lot of creators is even more magical than doing everything your own. I mean, I think for my experience, of course, as you say, it's very important to put all your hats
Yeah,
in a stage of your creation, right? But then when the creation become very big,
yeah.
well, it's always even magical to collaborate because you start learning from the other people that it's doing some parts that you wanna delegate, and you learn from.
And yeah, yeah, and that's also like how it like the culture gets shaped. You know, like I got to know you because the previous interviews, you know, and now we are doing this, you know, and everything mixed. You know, like the purest people is the one that is like close-minded that says, okay, I'm heavy metal, you know, and I just like heavy metal, you know. But why you cannot like cumbia or whatever, you know?
100%. That's on point, yes. And then with that, how, I mean, I'm sure your I mean my one as well,
Yeah.
your entrepreneurial journey and also your life. I mean, how, like my question is here, how failures are important for the evolution of that journey. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, how can you explain that?
Yeah, I think that the failures, like the first thing, really important is to recognize the failures, you know, because we could be failing a lot and not even realizing that they're failing. That's like the worst case scenario, you know, like when you don't realize. But then it's like, okay, it's like the relation between expectations and reality, you know. Like sometimes we say, okay, I really want to be a musician, I really want to be, you know, living the life of my dreams and whatever. But is your commitment on point with that? Like, are you going to the studio every day as it is the gym, or are you like putting out the stuff every day and testing if that's really making something with the audience? I think that it's really important to recognize
Mhm.
when we fail, and also to take that failure, because when you fail you learn automatically. If you win all the time, then there is no learning. So being able to recognize when you fail, like I used to do like rap classes where I used to teach how to rap, and the people was like rhyming, you know, for the first 10 seconds, you know, and then say freestyling, right? And then say, okay, but there is no a professional rhyme here. It didn't rhyme what I said. And then they stop. So imagine, for example, if like Tupac Shakur or Notorious B.I.G. said, okay, no, it didn't rhyme my first attempt to rap, I would quit, you know. So we also we all of us want results, you know, real quick, but we don't really realize like the grind that there is behind every successful person. Because like when we read the Wikipedia bio, you know, like the life you know, really hits of that person, we read, okay, in 2005 he did this album, in 2008 he released a movie. Okay, but what happened in between those 3 years? That's what I am eager to learn every time, you know?
Right, 100%. And yes, that you're like, I'm completely agree with you. And I think one of the things about failures is telling to everyone and be proud about them, because because that was makes you like the
Yeah.
person that you are now.
Hmm.
I feel like nowadays social channels and social media and whatever everyone wants to project is the perfect the result,
Yeah.
right? But it doesn't
Mhm.
doesn't 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 share how the journey's been, and the journey is not easy.
And that's something that it happens like all the time. Like we social media is quite new, and we are exposed to that technology with algorithms that change all the time. And in the other hand, like we could see the failure or success depending of how we see it. Like for example, I was talking about Delegate. I was at certain point like making a lot of music and uploading it, mixing it and mastering myself, at my home studio. And if I listen to that music right now, I say, okay, this is not properly mixed, right? Like I can easily recognize. But at that moment was the best version that I could do. And that's something else that I talk at the manifesto. That is the fact of doing. If you don't start something and finish it, then if you don't show it, then you don't learn. So what I want to say is like, okay, you could see, for example, that as a failure, and that failure could take you down. But in the other hand, it's like, okay, if I quit now, let's say that I quit doing stuff, right? If I
Mhm.
quit now, then it's not really it's purposeless. All
Mhm.
the past, all the entrepreneurship path that I had until now. Because the other option would be like just, and that's something like inner that I've been thinking a lot lately, that the other option would be just to, work in a way that doesn't make me happy and it's not really related with what inner, my inner self
Mhm.
do. My inner self is creative. So if there is now a creative expression, I think that all of us will be super sad.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you 100%. And I think you said something very special because like we all creative, and that's the base of flow. And like
Yeah,
all of
yeah,
us, I believe that. And I think
hmm,
when we do when we express that creativity, no matter what, like do it, and then whatever the result is, well, you can always getting better or evolve that result in the
yeah,
next one. But then some people, it's so scared about being, well, bit scared of failure or scared of being criticized or judgment,
yeah,
and that will don't let them express their creativity.
yeah. But also that creativity is like, let's put it on a wide way. It's not just to be your own boss and and do your own business. It could be anything. Like for example, let's say you like to cook, then okay, let's just be creative cooking or or painting just for yourself, if you want to do it that way. But I think that as humans we go through a lot of like thoughts and feelings during the day, and we feel sad, we feel angry, we feel happy. So that if you keep it like a machine, like maybe here in, I don't know how is it in London, but here in Denmark the society is way more reserved than in Argentina. And like yeah, like it's a different lifestyle, like more, like in Argentina you meet someone and maybe you invite that person to your house and you drink mate, or you just hang out. Here is more lonely, the lifestyle. So I'm wondering if there is any way of expressing these like feelings. Maybe it's just that we are more sensible, to stuff.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think maybe it's culturally, but also as
Mhm.
well, it's this whole we are in this world that creativity is being left out,
Yeah,
and creativity it's in some other views is like the weakness or like yeah, why you're creative, just do and don't create, right?
Yeah,
And that's wrong. I think well, culturally maybe is something important, but then I guess it's all of us. It's our mindset.
yeah,
So if you don't change that mindset, then you're always going to be like reserved and no expresses your creativity. And you're completely right. Like expressing your creativity, it's also fashion, like the way you dress or the
yeah.
way you everything, cooking or the way you talk or the way you well, you have your hair or whatever. Well, I don't have
Yeah.
hair.
Well, it's also an expression.
Exactly. Oh wow.
Uh,
Thank you so much. Okay,
so you
so
have beard.
I have here. Yes, that's good.
Uh, it's
Um,
there, you know. Yeah.
so yeah, so you also talk about being your own boss. I know that yeah, one of the creative expressions is well going to open a company as well.
Yeah.
So what is your opinion between the 9 to 5, like have like working for someone or being your own boss?
Yeah, I gonna reply that, and I was also add on something that maybe would
Mhm,
stop people in order to be creative or to do, and it's the fact that society nowadays measure everything with the numbers, you know, the numbers of the social media and stuff, and it's so crazy because like we are all in that game, right? But at the same time, um, you can prove that, for example, haters are wrong when you have the numbers. So where is the, you know, the creativity, or what is good or bad? It's just because of the numbers, because the numbers you can also buy it, you know, or you can if you have a ton of money, let's say you are a millionaire, then you are able to pay for more ads, right?
mhm,
Or hire better producers. So that's also like capitalism at the end of the day, you know, like a guy, for example, there is a guy on Argentina, on El Chaco, you know, that is a state from over there, and
mhm,
maybe he's the most talented musician or most talented artist, but then he doesn't have the industry connections or the budget in order to to grow. So it's also nice to reflect about those things, and that's also related with your question about like the two different options, like to work from 9 to 5 on a 9 to 5 job or being your own boss. And I think that like everything is nowadays, like everything is a brand, and at the end of the day, if you are not working for your own brand or your own company, you are working for someone else company, you know. Like let's take out from the conversation like the platforms and the social media, because in a way nowadays it's so hard if you don't want to be have an online presence, right? Like there is people that maybe does it, you know. Like I really like, for example, an artist called Bansky.
yeah, yeah.
So he's like let's say like a street artist, and he used to do stencils, you know. And he also did like it was so polemic because it had like a lot of social issues on it, and then no one knew his face, and then he did like a subasta, I don't know how to say it on English,
An auction.
an auction, yeah, of one of his paints, you know. And
Mm.
when they were selling it, he just had like a system on the paint that destroyed. So then when it was sold, it's the video on YouTube, I think. When it was sold, it was being destroyed at the same moment. So then his creation, like every all his art, just raised to the roof, the prices, you know. So
Mhm,
that's like thinking a bit outside of the box.
mhm.
And at the end of the day, that's also marketing, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that it depends of each person and what every person wants, but I think that the ultimatum, like the last step would be just to be building your own thing. For example, let's say you are a chef, right? So you are working, yeah, 12 hours. You are making the best empanadas. I don't know, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So for someone else, and you are learning a lot of that industry.
Mhm.
So the best would be if you open an app and you do your own empanadas store. Like in our case, my friends and all the rappers that I met, we didn't really even knew how the music industry worked. So that's maybe the it's a bad scenario because like in the best case, you would learn at your job how it works and then go and apply that by yourself. But no, we were like freestyling, wandering, you know, and that's why it took that many years in Argentina. Like right now, the scene it exploded, it blown up with trap music, and now with reggaeton, RKT, other kinds of music, but it took a long time because the rappers on my country were like close-minded. They had like the information and they didn't share it before internet, you know. But it's crazy how the internet culture just changed the mind of the people, and now every person can have a home studio. Every person can start a podcast, you know. Like today, there is no like excuse of okay, there is no information or I don't have the tools. Like
Uh-huh.
if you're really, really poor, yeah, but you know,
Yes, wow. And then you said, yeah, yeah, and something that you said is it was like going out of the comfort zone because
yeah,
you started, and I think it's really brave, and I will congratulate to start something without knowing how to do it.
hmm yeah,
And that's being out, like getting out of the box, being out of the comfort zone, and
yeah,
trying it and learning the process, and that's also okay. And and yeah, I am also that type of person. Well,
yeah,
Flow Community started as a side project. Now it's a business, and now it's like growing. But then I'm also start continue learning with the process,
yeah, yeah.
and that's I don't want to say compare what is bad or wrong, like, but then let's feel proud about that, and learning from with the process is really nice.
Yeah, yeah, I get that, and it's like so it's so brave from you, you know, to start without knowing something. And also, I gotta say that it's so important sometimes to get like a I don't know, like a coach or you know, like a mentor, someone that could guide you that already been through the spines and would say like, okay, no, this way is gonna be so hard. Better go that other way, you know, something like that. And it's crazy because in certain moments I had that at certain period of my life for something specific, and then I was looking for something else, you know, the next step. So then I had to look for another mentor, and maybe that mentor was not there, you know.
Mm.
So sometimes there is information. Yeah, I mean there is a lot of information on YouTube right now, right? But
Mm.
for example, if you are an investor, you know, like you know that you have to be on Wall Street, right? So sometimes you have to travel, you have to move. Like last year I traveled to Billboard's Latin Week on Miami, and it was crazy because like I was here on Denmark and there is a music industry that is really professional, but I was not really into it, you know. And then I traveled to Miami and I was able to record with a producer that worked with DJ Khaled, a producer from Chile, G Flow, that worked with Pastor and DJ Khaled, Lil Baby, and I learned a lot from him. And then I traveled to Puerto Rico. I recorded also there on a studio where Calle 13 used to record, so where all the Grammys there. It was
Wow.
crazy. So then I sometimes you have to go out of your comfort zone in a literal way, you know. Just you have to hop on a plane, you know, and just move locations. But in the other hand, I was also wanted to say that sometimes it's that going out of your comfort zone also means to break. with the what you learned when you was a child. For example, what your family taught you. You know, like I used to rap on El Quinto Escalón, that is a freestyle battle from Argentina, where most of the most important artists there comes from my country, were there in the same park as me, like Trueno, Duque, ECI, a lot of people. So over there, like I was able to see those guys growing exponentially and now becoming like superstars internationally. And it's crazy because I was there because I went to study from my hometown. I went to study to Buenos Aires, and that was like a family. How you say, like a must, like a rule. You have to study. You have to go to the university,
Mhm.
and I'm grateful that they helped me. You know, those years to economically, etc. But in the other hand, I think, okay, I stayed 6 years on the university, so then I lost a lot of time. You know, like in the music industry, it's different. It's not like if you are a doctor that you have to be have to study, you know, and graduate. So I see it like in the both sides. So I would say like it's important to break with the family, you know, rules. What do you think about it?
100%. I think, yeah, all the believings, all the social believings, some of them are blocking us, and
Yeah,
I think from my side and how I see it, my past make me who I am.
yeah,
And I feel like, yeah, I mean, I studied as an architect, and now I'm building a community and doing
cool.
an inspirational platform. But then being studying as an architect and having that experience make me doing what we're doing at the moment.
It's so crazy because you are building.
Oh, yes. 100%. And yeah, it has I have anyway, I have a podcast, I have flow post explain the relationship between architecture
Okay, cool, cool.
and flow community. But anyway, what I was saying is, yeah, I mean, sometimes going what sociality tells you, like, hey, you need to have a job, you need to marry, you have to have a house, you have to have a car, you have to study, blah blah blah. In some people, I mean, for me, it's no, I don't like to follow that. I
Yeah,
just, if if I had the opportunity, well, first of all, yes, I did a study. Yes, I'm married, but now I'm divorced. So,
yeah, cool.
and now I'm not following the rules. I'm now like my
The
life
flow.
is flow, like I'm flowing and see how it takes me. But yeah, I respect that, and yeah, I'm with you for that.
But yeah, and also like as a musician, there are like a lot of like rules that you okay you need to have a Lamborghini. You
Mm.
need at certain age you need to have accomplished this and that. And there are a lot of cases of people that don't go through that path. Like for example, Griselda are some rappers from United States. They are like 40 years and they just blow up now. They're 40, you know. And also like a lot of musicians that are making like living and they are not on social media, or other musicians that are making millions of streams but they are not touring, you know. So it's nice to pick and choose, you know,
Mhm.
which are the things that apply in each
I
case.
think rules, I mean, there is this saying, rules are made to be broken. And for
Yeah.
everything, like as a creative, you start, like, a lot of people is like, oh, you need to use this tool, so you need to use
Mhm.
this process to
Yeah,
create something. Sometimes if you don't have the tool, so you have different tools. If the process, it just start from I don't know, the process 10 to jump to the
yeah,
one and then jump to five, and then you create something beautiful. That's perfect, and it's
yeah,
okay. So 100%.
yeah. I think also like right now we are seeing that with AI.
Yep.
Like there are a lot of tools that are coming now, and it's scary in a way, you know, because like okay, it's changing. My theory is that these AIs, there are AIs that you can type in, you know, music make me a song like this, like that, and the AI spit the song to you. I think that those tools right now we are able, all of us, to use chat gpt, etc., but I'm sure that the industries, they were using it from beforehand, you know.
100%. Yeah, yeah, yeah. AI, it's accessible until now for everyone, but then AI has been done like I think 20 years or 10 years ago.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So
so
then, like, it's on each person if we wanna just run scary and cry and complain, or start to adopting it, you know.
yeah, yeah, 100%. And this could be another topic for another podcast that we can have
Yeah,
together,
definitely.
100%. Yeah,
Perfect.
okay. Let me ask you the last question. And of course, as I said, we can have many podcasts. I feel like
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a lot of that we want to share. So in terms of your entrepreneurial journey, how is been how your Latino identity is being, yeah, it has impact in that journey.
Yeah, so it's crazy because, like, I come from hip hop, you know, from the in my city there were rappers doing break dance, you know, and I started hanging out with them, and that's how I recorded my first, were like protest song, you know, like social songs. But then I grown up and I changed my mentality, not because like there are things that we shouldn't protest. We should protest, you know, but we also can feel happy, we can feel sad, you know. So then I started with reggaeton, and was like a huge shift for my audience, you know. Some people say no, some people say yeah. So also reggaeton impacted here because, like, being in Denmark, like, I am an Argentinian, yeah, but I'm Latin, you know, so I'm both things. So it's really nice seeing how we are shaping the culture globally.
Mm-hmm.
In the UK, in the States, it's crazy. Like, the amount of Latin people, it's it's so nice. Like, and yeah, there are like generations and generations that emigrated from, let's say, Mexico or Dominican or Puerto Rico or wherever, every country. And now, if you, for example, if you make it on Mexico, you make it on the States on a way. Like, there is like a lot of artists like Peso Pluma, Grupo Frontera, all the regional Mexican music, that they make it on the States and then make it globally, you know. So it's crazy, and it's so nice how it's being accepted, the yeah, the Latino culture. But in the other hand, I also think that we have, like, it's not like in the States that everyone wants to be a business person, an entrepreneur, and create their own thing. I think that in Latin America, it's a bit different. Like in Argentina, there was a saying like, "Ah, no, you now you wanna make your business, or now you gonna become greedy or give something. Remember the poor people, you know." Like they said that, you know. Remember us, that we are poor, if you do something, if you wanna think different and create your
Mm-hmm.
business or whatever. So I think that that mentality is also related with, I mean, uh, Cristobal Colon, you know, and how we've been like, there was like a massacre on 500 uh, years ago, you know, on Latin America. And like the people that was over there, if you had gold, if you was like a Native American and you had gold, then they rape your family and they kill you, right? So I think that that mentality went pass on. So then it's sometimes also a bit harder for us. Like, for example, you see the people, I don't know if in London there is people from Middle East.
Yeah, yes, yeah. I mean,
Okay, and they here, I see the people from Middle East here, and they are like, all of them has their kebab place, you know, their kiosk. They
mhm,
work for themselves and they hire their own community, you know, and
mhm.
you see them with the BMWs, the Audis, you know. I would love like to, you know, I have a lot of friends here and I love them, and I love the fact that they are working and making money, you know, working for someone else. but I would love if there is a bigger entrepreneurial spirit between our community. Abroad, maybe abroad is harder to make your own thing. I don't know, maybe not. There is a lot. Also, there is like a lot of funding, here. I don't know how is it on the UK, but here in Denmark, there is a lot of funding. If you want to make a business or you have like a cultural idea, you can present it and you can get funded to do your own thing.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Yes, I think yeah, you're right. And that's a topic that we can go very deep because I find it as well. Like a lot of communities, like race communities
Yeah,
outside, they're very strong together and they
yeah,
help each other. And I think Latinos, we're missing that when we're outside and we're not
sure.
like getting the community, the Latino community, and helping each other. And anyway, that's something that yeah, I'm completely agree, and it's up to us to start doing
Yeah,
it. So yeah,
but also what you are doing now, is part of it. Like you are in a way letting people know about people that is doing things. So that's like it's like adding value and it's a win-win. So we are changing and shaping the culture.
100%.
Yeah.
All right, Logan. So I think the time has passed, but I'm going
Yeah.
to ask you three quick questions.
Yeah.
So these questions you can answer with one sentence or one word. And the
Sure.
first question is, what's creativity for you?
So creativity is now, is the moment. What is happening now? So yeah, it's just a matter of putting it down on the paper or whatever.
Nice. What is your current creative expression?
Music. Music and image video.
Nice. And what is flow as the word means?
Flow is just not getting caught on the thought of what people will think about you.
Nice. Great.
Just
Okay.
let it flow,
Love it. Love it. Oh, thank you so much. It's been amazing. And I'm sure we're going to have another podcast,
Yeah,
another
definitely.
series. So
Definitely.
and thank you for the amazing experience and the amazing podcast.
Thank you so much for you to having me, and definitely we can make another one. So all of the people, if they liked what you heard, you can follow me on Spotify, YouTube, everywhere.
Yes, can you please say your social media channels?
Yeah, so it's Logan Infinito everywhere on all the platforms.
Perfect. And I will make sure in the description of the podcast we have all your contacts so they can follow you.
Definitely.
All right.
You.
Thank you so much and thank you
Thank
everyone
you.
for listening.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Bye bye.